I'm not here to like make you worry. I'm just here to make you think. Ladies and gentlemen, happy new year, happy 2024. I hope everybody kicks off their year in the most stylish of ways, as am I right now. Don't forget, this is the year of the money. It's an 8-year. 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8, 2024. Nonetheless, in all this optimistic talk, the skeptical part of me kicks in, and which of course brings in my next prediction number 2. Don't forget, about a month ago I promised that every single time I come up with a prediction, instead of me saying it to one-on-one people, I want to document it online, because too many times I get it right, whether it's weeks from now, months from now, or years from now, and nobody ever gives it to me. People might say, hey, so what, do you want a cookie? Fuck yes I do. Of course I want a cookie. Oatmeal raisin or oatmeal chocolate chip. Your choice, but one of those two, okay? Moving on. Okay, so this brings me to my next prediction. Now, this is a 2-part prediction. I'm gonna need you to follow along, okay, as I extrapolate. I need you to make sense of it as fast as possible. Stop being dumbfounded and, well, what do you mean? I don't understand. That's a little far-fetched. I look at things very, very, very closely, and I follow along as they go. It's a second nature to me, okay? So I need you to follow along as best as possible. Ask questions in the comments, but try and follow along. Okay, here we go. Ready? In the next 60 days, so before February ends, there is going to be a catastrophic event that happens to the globe. What do I mean by that? I just mean there's going to be something that happens that affects everybody and changes things. Once again, it could change economies, like, the financial system, that kind of stuff. It can change the way we live, like physically live. It can change anything. Now, here's why I'm telling you this. If you haven't followed along, then you've missed the trend that they set, and you know who they is. Stay with me here. Remember, stay with me. At the beginning of 2020, literally January 1st, 2020, the very first day of this decade, what happened? It was the beginning announcement of a... And what did that do? That set the tone for the year. That catastrophe, that catalyst of news set the tone for the year. Remember that? Okay. Then that election happened, that fraudulent election happened in America. And then, beginning of January, February, what was the next topic that set the tone for 2021? That was, you know what I'm saying? Okay? Certain things you just can't say, or else the algorithm gets triggered. So, first it was, and then it was the thing to take care of the, all right, so that's 2021, and that set the tone for the rest of the year. Remember that? Then 2022 came, and then what happened at the very beginning of 2022? The declaration of war between Russia and Ukraine. And what did that do? Set the tone for 2022. And then 2023 came, and what happened at the very beginning of the year? Train derailments. East Palestine was the catalyst, okay? All of America got affected. Everyone in America and Canada saw the black skies. I remember, I'm all the way in Toronto, and I smelled for a week. I smelled in the air, the burning, the fire, okay, the fumes from that. And then what happened after that? Constant trail derailments for multiple months. It almost set the tone for the rest of the year for just a lot of weird things to happen. And that was the tone for 2023. So what's going to happen in 2024? They have basically told you a couple of potential things, but to the best of my knowledge, that could also be a distraction so that they get something else. Now, here's one thing that they've been talking about. All of a sudden, the release of the Epstein list. We've been asking for that for a couple of years now, have we not? And they said we're never going to give it to the public. It's private. It's there, but it's private. All of a sudden, we're going to release it. It's a little weird, right? Skepticism naturally kicks in. Maybe they're just naturally going to release it. Maybe they just want to blow the whole thing up. Fine, fuck it, right? But I don't know. So I believe, and I predict that something is going to come, and it's going to go hand in hand. It's going to be one in one with that list, okay? Something maybe catastrophic that steers you away from the list, or something catastrophic, whereas you have to focus on this. You don't have any choice. And then they release the list and no one even cares, right? And then society doesn't demand, arrests and that kind of stuff. So it could be that. Then could be other things as well, like a potential solar flare that knocks out the internet specifically and the grids. And then we all become, a little barbaric all of a sudden. It's all about survival now. Everyone grabs their knives and their guns and they, who knows? That's part one of the prediction. Okay? Stay with me here. Remember, I said there's a two-part. This next part's going to be very hard for you to understand, but then again, here I go. 2024 is going to be a very eventful year. Very, very eventful year. There is going to be a shit ton of things that happen. If you thought 2020 was something, if you thought 2021 was eventful, 22 was eventful, 23 was eventful, 2024 is going to be nonstop. Event after event after event. It affects everyone, everything. And here's the why. Now, I'm optimistic, but I'm also pessimistic. I'm an optimistic pessimist, or am I a pessimistic optimist? I'm not sure. But I believe God wins in the end. In the end, though. Okay, but fucking war and hell comes before that. So ready? All of the events that you are about to witness in the coming months, that sets the tone for the year, will have a nucleus. There's a reason for these events happening. Now, what is next year? It's election year in America. Every election year, whether you follow along or not, it's extremely, extremely eventful in America. So many things happen that seem natural to you. I'm telling you, I want you to see it from this lens at least. If you disagree, no problem. I want you to see it from the lens. From here on in, 2024's nucleus will be Donald J. Trump. Everything that's about to happen, if something happens in a different country and it's a catastrophe, blah, 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 it'll be about one main thing: Donald J. Trump. That's it. They did it with 2020 and that catastrophe. A catastrophe that happened all the way around the world, far, far away. And which country got the most affected? And with that, set the narrative, because he was flying. February 2020, that guy was flying. You don't have to do anything and you're gonna win, right? Everyone knew that. Boom. And all of a sudden it just comes collapsing down. The whole narrative collapses down on Mr. Trump. I'm telling you now, what have they done to this man in the last year? They've arrested him multiple times. They have devalued his home. They have done whatever it takes to slander his name, to attack him, to prevent him from going to the ballot, putting his name on the ballot, and so on and so on and so on. And obviously, you're not going to stop a train like that. You're not going to stop a mind like that. And you're not going to stop a hero like that. And they haven't. They have failed at every single attempt. But every attempt has escalated. They have escalated their attempts. They have reached farther and farther with the stupidest of reasons and the stupidest of stories to stop this guy. And they can't. They just can't. So what do you think they're going to do in the next 11 months before the election in the United States? What do you think they're going to do to stop that man? I don't know. Use your imagination. So that's why I'm a little bit pessimistic and skeptical, while still extremely optimistic. Like, for myself, I'm very optimistic. However, I know that the powers that be that are, and once again, you know who the powers that be are. They will do whatever it takes. But why? Why Donald Trump? Because whether you understand or not, America is the land of opportunity. America does represent freedom, if there is even a definition of it. Yes, I get it. They're not the best at following that definition. But Donald Trump. When America is in the lead, when America is healthy, financially and all that stuff, right? Like in all the other aspects of it, the world is in place. As we've seen, from 2020 to now, how's America? Drastically fallen. And then how's the rest of the world? Drastically fallen. chaos everywhere. When Donald Trump was in place, America went up. It was the place to be for a lot of reasons. And there was the catastrophes of the world were very, very limited. Okay, if America had a say in it, it was limited. There was no war. Between my life and yours, every single president has gone to war except for one. Except for the one that everyone said was a guaranteed World War III. He's the only guy that never went to war. Everyone was in check. Russia was in check. North Korea was in check. China was in check. Iran was in check. This guy even got a peace treaty between Palestine and Israel. Take him out. Look what happens. So, the powers that be want chaos. Trump is in that way. They will do whatever it takes to stop Donald Trump. If you think whatever it takes has a limit, you are sadly mistaken. All right? Just watch. Disagree with me, no problem. Can you put the lens on? Just put the lens on. And now keep watching. You're keeping watching from your point of view, no problem. Now you've inherited mine. Those lens on and keep watching. Watch 2024. Good luck. Anyways, have a great start to your year. I love you all. I promise you, I really, really do. Personally, I'm very, very excited for myself. I have an incredible promised year ahead of me as long as there's no global catastrophes. Also, if you haven't already, click subscribe, click like, click comment. I love talking to everybody in the comments as much as I can. I love hearing your opposing opinions or even your agreeable opinions. Add to the fire if you'd like to. I'll be right there. And don't forget to come back tomorrow for my brand new release. It's called Be There, a beautiful, beautiful music video that I put together for you guys. It's very like cartoony and all that stuff. It's one of the most heavenly tracks that I've ever put together. I love putting together heavenly, atmospheric feeling in my tracks. And this is probably one of the best ones I've ever done. So yes, once again, it's called Be There. It's going to come out tomorrow along with all of my other releases. Check them out. Let me know what you think. You can get me on Spotify. You can get me on Instagram at taurus.music, and I can talk to you on there as well. All right? Well, we'll see you guys later. Happy 2024. And honestly, don't worry so much. I'm not here to make you worry. I'm just here to make you think, which is also one of the titles of my songs. All right? Think. That's all I'm here to do. Make you think and see through a better lens, a more clear lens, because devil's in the details. Don't ever forget that. Anyways, peace.